If you own a Super 73 or pretty much any electric bike, you've probably thought, where the heck can I stash an AirTag or GPS device on this thing where it's pretty much undetectable, and even if they see it, it's going to be hard for them to deal with it. Well, today I'm going to show you the BlackBox from IRV Labs. Welcome back, I'm Tony, and I've reviewed and owned several electric bikes, and one of the biggest things that you realize right off the bat is these things are a huge target for thieves, right? So of course, right off the bat, you're thinking, oh, I gotta get a lock or something like that, but what happens if the bike actually gets stolen? People are pretty good at breaking these locks nowadays. Well, that's where an Apple AirTag or a GPS tracker comes into play. Shortly after I bought my Super 73 ZX, I was already grappling with that, and I was like, oh man, what am I gonna do? Well, I did come across a company called Invoxia, and they've got a great GPS tracker. It works for anything. The only thing was, where do I stash it on this ZX? There is really no place to put it. Now, I do have the basket from IRV Labs, which is fantastic. One of the best additions that I've done to my bike, and one of the easiest mods that I've done on a Super 73. I mean, you literally drop it in there and put your bolts in there. That's pretty much it. Well, what I was doing is I was tying the GPS tracker from Invoxia into the mole holes that are on the basket. Not an ideal solution. It would bang around in there when I was riding, and obviously you're gonna see it right off the bat. I had actually talked to IRV Labs about that at the time, and they were like, you know, we're actually thinking about making something for this, maybe like a little black box. You know, the black box from the airplane makes it so you can find the airplane after it's crashed. So that's exactly what we have. Now, on the website, they have it listed as AirTag Black Box. It's only $49, made right here in the US. They're in California, so they design and manufacture them there. And they're calling it the AirTag Black Box, and there's kind of a reason for that. Invoxia says that metal can hamper the GPS signal, but I mean, I've used these things in my Jeep too. I just drop it in my glove box, and you know, I can see where wifey's at with the Jeep or whatever. You know, they're kind of suggesting that you use AirTags in here, but it was designed to use both, and you'll see in just a minute because they made it like offset so you could fit your tracker in there. So further on the website, designed to securely house your AirTag, made of strengthened carbon steel with stainless security bolts as hardware. Having your Apple AirTag discreetly secured in our tamper-resistant black box will buy you the time that you need to make a successful recovery in the event that your bike gets stolen. Keep in mind that a metal enclosure does weaken GPS signal radio waves when using a GPS style tracker. It does work, but not as reliable as an Apple AirTag. We recommend using an Apple AirTag with our black box. I think that's more of a disclaimer than anything else, because I've got mine in there with the Apple AirTag. It worked perfectly fine. But this way I got double coverage, right? All right, so let's take a look at what's inside the package. We'll install it and I'll give you my final thoughts. There it is. Pardon the mess in here. This is my living space. And so what we've got is we've got the Invoxia GPS. I've got an Apple AirTag here. We've got the parts, and we've got, well, the actual black box. Inside the parts here, you've got an Allen wrench. You've got two of these, I guess we'll just call them bolts or screws. And then we've got a couple of little bolts down here. All right, so while there are several mounting locations available, you can put it right here, whatever your bike has available. In this one, right down here at the bottom of the basket, which is also their basket, we've got the slot right there. And underneath that slot, we can see that we have two available threaded receptacles, okay? Now, I just realized in their video on Instagram, there were two little washers that they just slid them up underneath the basket there. The same type of rubber washers that are behind the basket right here. I don't think it's gonna be a problem. As a matter of fact, it looks like it's pretty close to the holes anyways. So we're gonna put this in here just like this. Gonna have to go around this side. Get it lined up with the slots and the holes. I've got those holes lined up with the holes in the frame. And then I'm just going to thread these in. That's one of the things I really love about their stuff, is that it really doesn't require any tools. Because even these have the, grippy stuff on it. You do want to make sure that you get it tight enough that you don't have any vibration in there. All right, that's feeling pretty tight. Just to give you a better look at it. So we've just got those two thumb tightening things tightened down real good on there. Now he's designed this so that it's kind of offset, so you can put your device in here like that. And then they recommend, in order to waterproof that further, to put it inside the bag that comes with the stuff here. It's a pretty heavy gauge bag too. Squeeze out all the air. Only thing is, when it's in here, it's a little bit too big for it to fit both of these things in there. But, you know, you could just stick your AirTag in there like that. If you want to run both AirTag and the, GPS tracker. If I didn't have the GPS tracker in there, I could leave this little cover on it. Now we'll try putting it inside the bag. And that fits in there like that. So then you take the cover. Make sure you get everything neatly inside there. Just put the cover on there like that. Then they give you the tool and the bolts to go on top. And these bolts are, I don't want to call them security bolts, but they're star, and not everybody's carrying around star-shaped, wrenches. But the beauty of this is that it's kind of hidden. I mean, you wouldn't really know what that is if you looked inside here. If you stole my bike, I'd have double backup here. A little bit harder at this angle to put this thing in here because the battery's on there. I could have made it easier on myself, but I needed to get this camera in there and everything. And you know, installing this basket didn't take any tools. That took just one tool, which they include, and it's good because it's extra security, but yeah, it's in there. Like I said, you wouldn't know that there's even anything in there, and boom! Now I found you with my bike. It's a really simple design. When seated inside of one of their baskets, it just looks like part of the basket. So if you looked inside there, you wouldn't go, yeah, there's definitely a tracker in there. And even if you did, you've got to have the right bolts, and it's going to take a few minutes to get that thing out of there, to take off the screws and stuff. But I just don't see them even noticing that until maybe when they get it back to wherever they're going to take it to. Now, can you put this on other electric bikes? Yeah, if you can find mounting points for it, but Super73s all have these mounting points like that. So I'm pretty sure, at least I think all Super73s do. So I'm pretty sure you'd be able to use this on just about any Super73, and you might be able to modify it to work on another bike. So personally, I think this is a real nice addition, just under 50 bucks. And I'm actually starting to think, well, how could I attach this to one of my electric skateboards or something? I mean, it'd be really nice to be able to do that. I have a GPS tracker and an Apple AirTag in there. I don't know. But it seems really suited for the Super73. Might have some other uses as well. Now, like I said, I had both the AirTag and the Invoxia GPS tracker inside of it, and I got good results with it. I really didn't have any problems. I was, at least I'd say with the Invoxia, the same results that I get without the box, I got with the box. But keep in mind that it may hamper the signal a little bit. And as far as the AirTag, yeah, it worked great, but AirTags don't have GPS. They rely more on phones that are nearby and towers and things like that, but they work really well. Got no complaints, and I know that IRV Labs does fantastic work with their metal work, and the basket that I've got on there, I love that basket. It rounds out the look of the bike. It's very useful. I mean, I can put groceries in that thing. And you know what? Just watch the video. That's popping up right here. So I have to say, great job on this IRV Labs. That is the BlackBox, and if you've got a Super73, I would recommend it. Which, by the way, they don't only make the basket in this box, they make really cool racks and things like that. There's a lot of stuff that they've got on their website. I do recommend you check that out. I'm gonna have a link right down in the description for you. Well, I want to thank you so much for your support here on the channel. It's been around since 2013. It's always been about my passions. In the last couple of years, I've added some more of my passions to the channel, and I just really appreciate if you've been around that long that you've been supporting it, and I think it's great. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and I appreciate your support as well. Best way to do that is if you like this video, give it a like, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, well, there is a red subscribe button down there and a notification bell, which you'll get notifications when I upload new videos. Of course, running one of these channels is not inexpensive, so if you'd like to throw a couple bucks my way, there is a thanks button down there as well. Got a lot more content on the way, some electric guitar stuff, electric skateboards, scooters, and more, so stick around, and I appreciate you. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. We'll catch you next time on the Vapor Trail channel.